Hey everyone, my name is Eric Sheffield and I am your host of Histor-E. And on today's program, we're going to talk about self-made millionaire, entrepreneur, and social activist, Madam C.J. Walker. Madam C.J. Walker was born Sarah Breedlove in Delta, Louisiana on a cotton plantation on December 23, 1867. Sarah was born the fifth child between Owen and Minerva, who were freed slaves because of the Emancipation Proclamation. Sarah was orphaned at the age of 7 and went to live with her sister Lavinia and her husband, and the three of them moved to Pittsburgh, Mississippi in 1877. At the age of 14, Sarah married a man named Moses McWilliams, and on June 6, 1885, she gave birth to her daughter, Alelia. 2 years later, her husband passed away, so she moved to St. Louis with her daughter, where she stayed with her brothers, who had already established themselves as barbers. While in St. Louis, Sarah worked as a washerwoman, where she made about $1.50 a day, which was just enough to send her daughter to public school. While she was in St. Louis, she met a man named Charles J. Walker, who worked in advertising, and who would later become her husband and help her promote her business. During the 1890s, Sarah developed a rare scalp disorder that caused her to lose most of her hair. Now, she experimented with store-bought products and home remedies to try and cure herself of this condition. In 1904, during the Louisiana Purchase Exposition, also known as the St. Louis World Fair, Sarah was hired by Annie Turnbull Malone as a commission agent. Now, Annie Turnbull Malone was the owner of the Poro Company, and who will also later become one of Sarah's biggest business rivals. In 1905, Sarah moved to Denver, Colorado to work for Malone while she adopted her knowledge of the hair care business. While in Denver, Colorado in 1906, her husband Charles helped her by creating some advertisements for a hair treatment that she was working on that was specifically designed for African Americans. Charles suggested that she use the term madam on her product line to give everything a sense of prestige. Now, at this time, her husband Charles was also her business partner, and he provided advice on advertising and promotion, while Madam C.J. Walker went door to door selling her products, and also teaching African American women how to style their hair. In 1907, Madam C.J. Walker and her husband Charles traveled the South promoting her hair care products, while at the same time giving live demonstrations of her Walker method. Now, the Walker method was basically her own application of her own homemade products, from shampoos to conditioners to homemade pomades to help grow and strengthen hair. As profits continued to grow in 1908, Madam C.J. Walker opened a beauty school and a factory in Pittsburgh, and by 1910, she transferred all of the business dealings over to Indianapolis. She also assembled a staff of people, including Freeman Ransom, Alice Kelly, Robert Lee Brokenberg, and Marjorie Stewart Joyner to run the company while she was away. The Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company had become very successful, with profits that are the modern-day equivalent of several $1 million. Not only was Madam C.J. Walker a revolutionary when it came to hair care products, she was also revolutionary when it came to business management, as most of her staff that were in key positions in her company were women. To make her sales force even stronger, Madam C.J. Walker trained many women to become beauty culturalists by using the Walker method. Now, because of this, by 1917, the company had trained over 20,000 women who went out in uniform with black satchels containing Madam C.J. Walker's products with her likeness on them. This helped her expand her business beyond the United States to places like Panama, Costa Rica, Jamaica, and Haiti. As I was researching Madam C.J. Walker, there's something I found was really interesting. Not only was she someone that was really active in the community, but she was also someone that was really active with her own employees, as all the women that were under her employment were trained to become financially independent and own their own businesses. Now, earlier in the video, I made mentions to Madam C.J. Walker being an activist as well. So now we're going to run through just a few things she accomplished as an activist. She helped raise funds to establish a YMCA in Indianapolis' black community. During World War I, as a leader for the Circle for Negro War Relief, she advocated for the establishment of a training camp for black Army officers. Madam C.J. Walker encouraged her employees to be politically active as well. While at a convention in 1917, Madam C.J. Walker made a speech about her employees being politically active as well as herself. This is what she said. "This is the greatest country under the sun, but we must not let our love of country, our patriotic loyalty cause us to abate one whit in our protests against wrong and injustice. We should protest until the American sense of justice is so aroused that such affairs as the East St. Louis riot be forever impossible." Hey everyone, thanks for watching this video about Madam C.J. Walker. If you guys want to get any other information on her, you can always go over to madamcjwalker.com, which is a site that's ran by her great-granddaughter, Alelia Bundles. Also on that site is a link to her hair care products, which are being sold under Sundial. I really appreciate you guys taking time out to watch the video. Like and subscribe down below. Also like our Facebook page. Keep in contact with us. If you guys have any other comments about anyone else you want us to discuss on this channel, please leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time.